One of the things that we talk a lot about with our team is avoiding gossip amongst our team and amongst the clients as well. And it's something that we're not perfect at, but we are constantly working on and try to be intentional about not talking about others behind their back unless it's something that is really positive about that other person. And one of the ways that gossip often shows up that a lot of people don't even think about gossip is as venting. And oftentimes, venting is meant to be really harmless. A lot of times, people are venting just to get something off their chest. And venting often feels good, especially to the person that's doing the venting, to get that thing off their chest and to almost share that moment with someone else and maybe get reinforcement for a way they're feeling about something, to get a second opinion. But venting is often just as hurtful as gossip. And I was actually reading this book recently called Originals. I wouldn't particularly recommend the book. It's okay. It's not bad, but I didn't think it was anything amazing. But I came across something in there, a study they did on venting that I thought was really fascinating and interesting. And prior to reading this book, I always thought of venting as being very destructive to the person that you're venting to and destructive to the person that you're venting about. But I often thought of it as potentially a positive thing, or at least not as negative for the person doing the venting, because I thought there was some element of release or sort of getting off their chest. Really, that's kind of the definition of venting. But when I read this book, they had a study in here that really opened my eyes to it. And basically, the study showed that it was based on feedback they were giving. I think it was like college professors about a writing assignment. And when someone gave really negative feedback to that person, they purposely gave negative feedback, and then they allowed that person who received the negative feedback to vent to someone else. It actually only further entrenched their negativity and anger towards the person that had given them negative feedback. So actually, what they showed with this study is that venting only further strengthens and develops those negative feelings that you feel about a person. It doesn't actually serve the purpose of what most people think of venting being, of releasing that. So I thought that was really fascinating because, like I said, I always thought venting was sort of harmful to the other two parties, the person you're talking to who has to sort of absorb that negativity, and the person you're talking about who has to have that negative stuff talked about behind their back. But really, it's harmful to all three parties. So I hope that really encourages you guys, when you guys have an issue, to try to talk directly to the person. That's really where your problems are going to be solved long term. And short term, it's going to benefit you and everybody else more, because you're not going to just further entrench these negative feelings about the other person.